cannot put yourself in a situation when you don't come to train.
So how do you see this resolving itself? Do you think it can in the next week? Is there a situation where he stays at Newcastle and comes back and welcomed back into the squad?
I think for me, in an ideal world, the best thing for him is, I think for everybody, is if he can leave. But I also do believe that when someone makes a mistake, if it sees as a mistake after from his dressing room, if he apologizes, then we can move on. If he scores goals and he starts to play the same way he played last year, the Newcastle fans will be okay about it.
Do you think the bid's coming? Do you think he can reintegrate? What's your views on this, Mark?
I think this is just a prime example, again, of not taking a beat and not thinking, because the contradiction smacks you in the face. You know, you can do all these things. We don't know the full story, but you cannot come in and train. Yeah, the guy who's playing for the club you played for, Arsenal, and just scored 2 goals at the weekend, and he's going to tear the league up, didn't train, didn't go back for Sporting. I'm not going to train for Sporting. You know, so the hypocrisy is laughable. You know, whatever happens, don't train. You've got to come in and train. Yeah, Gyökeres didn't come in and train. Plenty of people have not come in and trained. It's not like Isak's the first player in football history to not go and train in pre-season. I mean, yeah, look, I think the danger, and I don't know Isak and I don't know it, but if Isak had trained with Newcastle and said, look, I want to go, but I'm going to train and I'm going to make myself available. What are Newcastle going to do, Terry? They're going to go, oh, it didn't happen. Oh, sorry, it didn't happen. You'll just have to stay with us. He knows that. So he wants to go. He feels that Newcastle have took the piss. And he knows if he comes in and trains and plays, that window's going to pass and he's stuck. So what he's doing is, I'm not going to train. I'm going to force the move. And if I don't get the move, then I'll come and train and play and I'll apologise and everything like that. He's just forcing the move because he knows if he comes in, Newcastle will keep him. Because Newcastle, you talk about Man United, Elanga puts 3 brilliant crosses in yesterday. If they've got Wizard up front, even he's going to get on the end of 2 of them. Villa last week that have beat them with a striker. So Newcastle got 1 point from 6. If they'd bought a striker, they might have 6. They might have 4. So another team that's just not ready. And I think Newcastle, Liverpool, and Isak are all right. I've said it all along. I think they're all right. Newcastle want the strikers before they let him go, and then they will let him go. Isak wants to make it clear he wants to go, which he is, and Liverpool are willing to pay a British transfer record. So, you know, I think people struggle with that. It's like the Bruno thing. You can want Bruno to be sold to Saudi if he's going to be a midfielder like I did, but you can also say if he's playing as our number 10, I'll keep him. Like, more than one thing can be right. And Liverpool, Newcastle and Isak are all right. But we live in a world where people have to blame somebody.
Yeah, there's always got to be a villain, because I saw this tweet from this is a Liverpool fan. He's a guy that does the Gary Neville impressions, actually. He's been on the show. He's a nice lad. So Wolves are putting in offers that are below for Larsson. One, Wolves are saying he's not for sale, but there is a kind of report that 75 million would be enough to make him bid. And he's essentially saying, so it's okay for Newcastle to bid for strikers that are supposedly not for sale, but when Liverpool do it, they're unsettling the player, it's disrespectful, and they should be seen as criminals. Now, Larsson isn't refusing to train, which is fair, but Liverpool aren't accountable for the actions of Alexander Isak. And now, I always say, you must have had this before in the YouTube world. Someone tweets something at you, you respond, and then maybe some people that follow you give that person some shit, and people are like, see, Mark, your audience have come for me. It's not one that Mark's not responsible for the behavior of people he doesn't know who happen to follow him. Yeah. Normally it's the other way. And I'm the same as you. I look at this. Look, I think a bid's going to come this week from Liverpool. I think Liverpool are going to try and get this deal done, and they've got every single right to. But it's one of those things for me. I don't want to defend Liverpool where I don't need to, but I feel that the narrative that they've put in a British transfer bid. Yes, some say it's too low, but it's 110 million, and it was basically all cash up front. And people are talking about a one of the biggest bids ever submitted by an English club for a player. They're talking about it as if it's disrespectful, where Newcastle themselves are bidding sort of 30 to 40 to 50% under the valuation of Wissa and Larsson. And everybody says, well, that's how you negotiate. There's something about it I just find absolutely jarring beyond belief. But Yeah, we'd love to get the
Well,
viewers'
look,
views.
you know, people are saying Isak's acting unprofessional, but if somebody said to you, you won't move to Liverpool unless you don't train and basically put a transfer request in, I'm absolutely convinced that if he was training and playing, Newcastle would go, we can't get a striker in, you're staying. So he needs people, he needs Newcastle to sign a striker for him to go. And you know, you reassess it in a week when the window's closed.
No, I absolutely agree, mate. I really do. Viewers, hit that like and that share button for us. This is Jason Carr. I want to go to this because I think this man's a little bit of a beast. He had a great day Saturday, but let's take a look at Jason Cundy's reaction.
You sponsored by Talk Shit.
And it's goal.
I just know it winds you up. It's great, isn't it?
Number one for Arsenal's number one up front, Victor Gyökeres, his first since arriving. And I have to say, it was worth the wait. A fantastic bit of solo play from the front man. He's beaten 1, 2, 3 Leeds players out on the left. He's cut inside and he's smashed it past the Leeds goalkeeper, Lucas Perry, from close range. Goalkeeper flat-footed. If he was perhaps at fault for the second goal, nothing he could have done about this. Brilliant stuff. A nice bit of play from Arsenal. A well-worked move that resulted in a sort of hoof ball forward from Calafiori. And he had still quite a lot to do, Gyökeres, out on the left-hand side. He's one-on-one with Strike. He cuts inside and smacked it past the goalkeeper. The crowd have gone berserk. David Raya was going berserk in his own goal as well. Lift off for Gyökeres. It's Arsenal 3, Leeds 0.
Yeah, good goal to be fair to him. Shocking.
It's a nice finish. He does well. I mean, he dances through the Leeds defence there. He's a powerful boy. Gets his shot, goes near post. But do you know what? These Arsenal fans, when they're doing the Gyökeres celebration, they're all doing that.
What is it?
Honestly, putting their hands over their face. Cringe FC again. They're so cringe, Arsenal. No one does cringe like Arsenal. Honestly, they don't. Credit to them. They're top cringers.
Top cringe.
They are.
It just made me laugh because they spent the whole show building up Gyökeres not scoring, how bad he's going to be, how clunky he looks. He scores, and then it's we've got to celebrate. So we've got to get the celebration police out again, Mark. People can't celebrate goals anymore.
Well, look, I had it from some United fans because obviously I don't just do the United stand, I do That's Football. And it's United aren't on there. So, I love football and I really like Gyökeres. And it pissed me off as a non-Arsenal fan last week, the way because I've seen it with United players so many times. A foreign player comes in and the agenda is written. He's too small, he's too slow. And you know straight away they've never watched them. And with Gyökeres, I mean, Rio Ferdinand said it when United were linked to him. I've watched him once, me and Jolene, we've watched Gyökeres. He ain't ever going to. I mean, we need to find that clip. We need to find the Rio Ferdinand and Jolene Lescott clip. Arsenal fans are definitely going to find it because they watched him play and went, he ain't never going to work against Premier League centre backs. So there's Arsenal fans love all this. You get that clip, you get the goal, and you tag them in. But it wasn't just them. Like, there's so many people who've said it. They built this agenda against Gyökeres, and I said it last week and I had the tweet ready. I said, he will bang. I've got him for Golden Boot. He will bang. He's not fit. He hasn't had a pre-season. He's definitely not fit. I've seen Gyökeres before. He's not fit. He's not sharp. But the goal he scored was exactly what he's all about. And they think he's people think he's a shit Haaland. He actually gets goals. He dribbles. He can score goals like that. I mean, actually, when you look at that Leeds game, where was the opportunity? He didn't get a chance. No one's even learned to create chances for him yet. So, yeah, I was really happy about it because we have this, especially in the UK media. They make their minds up on people straight away.
Yeah.
And now they're going to have to change the agenda because he will score a lot of goals.
Well, this was the agenda.
You're Gyökeres. You got to go for him. Why not?
I'm believing that you're going to go for him. He's not the guy.
I don't think he's the guy, Gyökeres, for me.
No.
What, for you don't think so?
I've watched him. I've not watched him loads. I've watched him probably 3 times. We watched him together.
Yeah.
We watched him
probably
3 times really, really closely.
Yeah.
And 3 times I've gone...
They were like this at the screen.
That you don't get away with that in the Prem.
That he ain't getting that opportunity
which
in the
games,
Prem
by the way?
or
Champions League games?
Yeah.
Because I'm like the Claire Weather fan that sees the commercial games. Like, for example, the City game and everything. You go, ooh. But I don't know.
Mate, when I see him physically matched, I don't see what else is there then. That's the questions that I'm asking. Is there enough after he's physically matched to be able to get him a goal?
See, the issue with those opinions Is in the Man United game. In the Man United game, people have gone, see, Rio was right. The problem is you're using one game sample size. That goal he scored against Leeds, he did that consistently for Coventry, and he did it consistently for Sporting, and he's done it, and he's done it for Sweden as well. He's done it in the domestic leagues. He's done it in Europe. He's done it internationally. He's now done it in the Prem. There is more sample size that he can create and score goals himself, that he's got more to his game than just being physical and tapping it in from 3 yards. And it's not that you don't have to fancy a player. You can say they're wrong, but it's like I would say, it's the rationale behind what you say that is what gives it credibility or not. And I heard Rio say that. And listen, I love and respect Rio as a player. What he did for Man United was amazing. But I remember hearing that and thinking, oh, that's gonna. But again, is that content creator settings? Is it I'm gonna do a Rory Jennings and say something that is likely to be wrong, but will then keep getting. We've just probably fed into it.
But you might be right on that. And I've said this before about Rio. Is he a YouTuber or is he an ex-player? Because he does come out with some. I'm in a train station and I'm hearing that you could, just absolute terrible stuff, and you just think you don't need to do that. Who's advising you? You don't need to do that. You play for England and Man United. You don't need to do that. But I think when I heard that, because it's not recent, it was when he was linked to United. And when they say that they've watched him 3 or 4 times closely, I mean, I'm just imagining they've watched him for 1 minute and they're both really close watching the screen, because it's like they've not watched him. They haven't. You can't judge a player, and they've completely missed the brief on Gyökeres. I know a lot of Coventry fans, and they loved Gyökeres and said he was way too good for that league. He's a brilliant player. And obviously we've seen what he did at Sporting. But, to say, up against big Premier League centre-backs, what else has he got? It's like, it just completely and utterly undermines the fact he scored more goals in Europe than anyone else yet last year. I know Mbappe won the Golden Boot, but that's because of some stupid bloody weighting of goals in the top 5 league. Unless he gets injured, I'm absolutely convinced he could. Well, I predicted Arsenal for the league, and I think Liverpool are right to be favourites, and I predicted him for the Golden Boot. So if he stays fit, we'll see what happens.